Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Learn French with Madame. Aujourd'hui, on va parler au sujet des fêtes. So today we're going to talk about parties. This chapter in the second book of BND, the Blue Book, is all about throwing parties. So we've already covered in our first set of vocab, we've already covered things about how to plan for a party, or what to have at a party, and things like that. And so this set of vocab, we're going to talk about the behind the scenes, such as sending invitations, saying what has and has not been done, and getting some more things ready for the party. Okay, donc on va commencer. We're also trying out something new today, so it might look a little weird at first, but let's roll with it. Okay, en premier, notre premier mot, our first word is bonne idée. Bonne idée, which means good idea. Bonne idée, good idea. That should be a pretty familiar word. You've, I'm sure, heard it quite a few times. So bonne idée, good idea. Okay, deuxième mot de vocabulaire, it's a verb. So this is the verb in English to organize. It's facile organiser, organiser. So it kind of sounds like it's English word. It's a little bit of a cognate, organiser, to organize. Okay, donc, premier, so first I want you to draw this phrase. If you have something you can draw with, you can pause the video and then draw this phrase for me. Bonne idée. Très bien. We should have drawn something to illustrate a good idea. If you drew a light bulb, even better. Something that just lets you know that bonne idée is a good idea. Okay, our deuxième, so our second one is to tell me what is the verb to organize. Excellent, organiser. Très bien, organiser. Okay, troisième mot de vocabulaire, our third vocab word is to send invitations. So invitations is a cognate, which means it's the same thing as it is in French, as it is in English. So invitation in French is invitation. It's spelled just a tad bit different, but it looks almost the exact same. And then we should remember the verb to send from French 1. So the verb to send from French 1 we learned in the second chapter of the Red Book was envoyer. So we have envoyer is the verb to send, and then invitations, invitation. So envoyer les invitations, to send invitations. Okay, I'm going to have you say that one after me. So I say it once and then you say it. I'll say it first. Here we go. Envoyer les invitations. Très bien. Okay, on continue. So moving on, we have faire les courses. Faire les courses. Tin, you take a guess and tell me what faire les courses is based off of this picture. To grocery shop, or to do the grocery shopping, to go grocery shopping, whatever you want to call it, as long as you're shopping for groceries. So faire les courses. I'll say it, then you say it. Faire les courses. Très bien. Faire les courses. To go grocery shopping. Okay? To tidy up the house. To tidy up the house. You can also say to clean the house, but that might get a little bit confusing with some other words that we're going to learn. So to tidy up the house, like put things away, organize a little bit, we have ranger la maison. Ranger la maison. That is a review from French 2 in the second half of the year when we talked about like housework and chores and our house set of vocab that we did in chapter 8. So ranger la maison, to tidy up the house. You can also say ranger la chambre, to tidy up the room, ranger la cuisine, to tidy up the kitchen, etc. Okay, so do me a favor and try and match these terms. Normally when I show this to kids in class, they have their laptops and they can interact with the slides. But since we're doing this over video, you'll just have to kind of imagine that you draw a line, or just draw a line on a sheet of paper and tell me like what that word means. So our first one we have is envoyer les invitations. Then we have ranger la maison and faire les courses. So I'll give you a quick second. You can pause the video in order to match those three words to those three pictures. All right, so our first one, envoyer les invitations, should have been in the bottom left. So that one's to send invitations. Then we have ranger la maison, to tidy up the house, in the bottom right. And faire les courses, to go grocery shopping, in the top right. 100%, 100%, hopefully. Okay, moving on, we have to do the housework. So this is where I said it might be a little bit confusing if you used ranger la maison to say to clean the house, because then you're actually going to learn some cleaning vocab. So we have to do the housework is faire le ménage. So faire le ménage, that is to do the housework, like chores such as like dusting and sweeping the floors, vacuuming, all that other fun stuff. So faire le ménage, to do the housework, faire le ménage. Okay, I say it and then you say it. Faire le ménage. Très bien, to do the housework. Excellent. Okay, on continue. To dust in French it's a phrase, so it's faire la poussière. Faire la poussière. To dust, faire la poussière. All right, I'll say it and then you say it. Faire la poussière. Très bien. That is to dust. Je n'aime pas faire la poussière. I hate dusting. Okay, so draw me a picture that illustrates this phrase. Faire la poussière. Draw me a picture that illustrates this phrase. Faire la poussière. You can pause the video if you need a little bit more time. But we should have drawn something that illustrates dusting. So either a little feather duster or like a rag with some dust that you're wiping up. Something along those lines, just to let you know that faire la poussière is to dust. Okay, translate this into French for me. I don't like to do the housework. I don't like to do the housework. All right, if you need some more time, you can pause it. We should have said, je n'aime pas faire le ménage. Je n'aime pas faire le ménage. Excellent. Okay, moving on, we have to wrap presents. So we have to wrap presents is emballer des cadeaux. Emballer des cadeaux. Emballer des cadeaux, to wrap presents or to wrap gifts. That's the same thing. Okay, I say it and then you say it. Emballer des cadeaux. Excellent. Okay, to decorate the room, so to get the whole room ready to decorate it for a party, we have décorer la salle. Décorer la salle, to decorate the room. Décorer la salle. So if I wanted to say I have to decorate, you would say je dois décorer. So décorer is that verb to decorate, and la salle is the room. So décorer la salle, to decorate the room. Okay, so a real quick pop quiz for you. Emballer des cadeaux is to wrap presents. Is that vrai ou faux? Vrai, très bien. Emballer des cadeaux is to wrap presents. Okay, which one of these words does not belong with the rest of the group? We have emballer des cadeaux, faire le ménage, faire la poussière, and ranger la maison. Which one of those does not belong? Emballer des cadeaux. Très bien. The rest of them are all cleaning, and emballer des cadeaux is to wrap gifts. So the rest of them all belong together, except for emballer des cadeaux. Okay, choisir la musique, facile. Those are all words that we learned in French 1 and French 2. So choisir, we know, is the verb to choose, and la musique, facile, looks like kind of what it is in English, music. So tell me real quick, what is choisir la musique? What does that whole thing mean? Excellent. To choose the music. Très bien. To choose the music. Facile. Okay, moving on, we have to préparer, to préparer. That's what happens when Madame's brain thinks in French and in English at the same time. So we have to prepare the snacks. To prepare the snacks, we have préparer les amuse-gueules. Préparer les amuse-gueules. Sorry, préparer les amuse-gueules. All right, so we have to prepare the snacks, préparer les amuse-gueules. All right, that last sentence, that last like two words are kind of hard to say. So I want to say them and then you say them, especially that last word. As you can tell, Madame messed up on it the first time she said it. So préparer les amuse-gueules. All right, I'll say it and then you say it. We'll say that whole phrase. Let's start it off. Préparer les amuse-gueules. Excellent, excellent. That last word is a little hard to say. So I always tell you guys not to panic or freak out when you say something wrong or incorrect. I've been taking and studying French my entire life, and I'm obviously a French teacher, and I still mess up on some words. So don't ever be afraid to say something and say it wrong. It's always worth it just to try it. Okay, so moving on. Match those terms on the left to those pictures on the right. The first one we have is ranger la maison. Then we have préparer les amuse-gueules. And troisième is faire la poussière. Quatrième, faire le ménage. And cinquième, faire les courses. Okay, match those words to those pictures. You can pause the video if you need a little bit more time. All right, so that first one, ranger la maison, we should have picked the one where all of those items are going inside the box, so to tidy up the house. And then we have préparer les amuse-gueules, which is to prepare the snacks. So we've got a tray of snacks down in the bottom. Faire la poussière is to dust, which is that little feather duster on the right-hand side. Faire le ménage, to do the housework, which is Our Lady vacuuming in the top left. And then our last one, faire les courses, is to go grocery shopping on the top right. Okay, so that was all for day one, but because I'm doing this in one big video, we're trying to get it into just 2 videos, we're going to keep going with some more words. Okay, so you can tell me how you're feeling so far with the vocab. If you'd like, you can leave me a comment and leave me an emoji with the smiley face or the middle face or the sad face or the super sad face. Or if you just want to keep it to yourself, that is okay too. But I kind of want to know how you're feeling with the vocab so far. All right, so moving on to some other words, we have passer l'aspirateur. Passer l'aspirateur, to vacuum. Passer l'aspirateur. This should be a review from French 2 when we learned our housework, our house chores vocab in chapter 8, when we learned the passé composé with être, that big chapter. So passer l'aspirateur, to vacuum. Okay, I say it and then you say it. Passer l'aspirateur. Excellent. All right, une soirée costumée. Une soirée costumée is a costume party. Une soirée costumée, a costume party. Une soirée costumée, a costume party. Okay. Des fruits secs. I'm not sure how many people actually like these. I think they're more of an acquired taste. So des fruits secs are dried fruits. Des fruits secs, dried fruits. Dried fruits. Des fruits secs. Okay, so I say it and then you say it. Des fruits secs. Excellent, très bien. Okay, so tell me, is this vrai ou faux? Des fruits secs is fresh fruit. True or false? Vrai ou faux? That should be faux. Des fruits secs are dried fruits, so they're not fresh, they're dried. Des fruits secs, dried fruits. Okay, translate. I am vacuuming. I am vacuuming. Translate that sentence into French for me. I am vacuuming. Okay, if you want to pause it, you can. But the answer for this one, I am vacuuming, is je passe l'aspirateur. Je passe l'aspirateur. So passer l'aspirateur is the verb to vacuum. We just need to conjugate that passer part. It's a regular ER verb, so je passe l'aspirateur. Okay, des biscuits, tout le monde aime des biscuits. Everybody loves cookies. Des biscuits are cookies. Des biscuits. Kind of looks like biscuits, but it's not biscuits, it's cookies. Even better. Okay, I say it, then you say it. Des biscuits. Excellent. Okay, prochain mot de vocabulaire. Facile. Super facile. So, des chips. Facile. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this one. Des chips. Facile. Okay, so draw me a picture to illustrate this word. Draw me a picture to illustrate des biscuits. All right, you can pause it if you need a little bit more time, but we should have drawn a picture of a cookie. Should have drawn a picture of a cookie. Next word is des cacahuètes. Des cacahuètes. This one is a super hard word to say in French. It kind of doesn't look like anything of how it should sound. So we're going to say it a couple of times, but it means peanuts. Peanuts. Okay, I say it and then you say it. Des cacahuètes. Très bien, cacahuète. Okay, I'll say it one more time and then you say it one more time and then we'll move on. Des cacahuètes. Excellent. Okay, so moving on, everybody's favorite. Tout le monde aime des bonbons. Everybody loves some candy. Everybody loves some candy. Des bonbons is candy. All types of candy, candy in general, des bonbons, candy. Okay, draw me a picture to illustrate this word, des cacahuètes. Draw me a picture to illustrate what that word means in English. or you can pause it if you need a little bit more time. But des cacahuètes was peanut, so hopefully we drew a picture of a peanut or something that looks like a peanut. My drawings don't always look like what they're supposed to be, so I will not judge on your drawings. If you want to share a picture of your drawing in the comment section, I'd love to see it so I know that I'm not alone. So des cacahuètes are peanuts. Okay, so the last part of this video is going to be talking about negative expressions. A lot of these you've already learned before, and a lot of them are already similar, but I want to make sure that I do my due diligence and make sure that you're ready for the vocab quiz. So we're going to talk about the negative expressions yet again. All right, our first one is positif ou négatif, pas de problème. So you tell me whether or not you think that is positive or negative. Positif ou négatif. You tell me, is that pas de problème, positif ou négatif? Positive. I would say it's positive. It means not a problem. So I would say that it's a positive one. If they were saying il y a un problème, there is a problem, then I would say that it's négatif. But because they say pas de problème, not a problem, I would say positif. Okay, next one, positif ou négatif. Je suis désolé. Je suis désolé. That's from French 1. Je suis désolé. Positif ou négatif? Negative. I would say that's negative. I'm sorry is negative. So je suis désolé, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is just an extra word. I have a poster that's something similar to this hanging in my classroom. It says ne pas déranger. It just means do not disturb or don't bother. So ne pas déranger, don't bother or do not disturb. Ne pas déranger. So you could say don't bother me, which would be ne me dérange pas. Ne me dérange pas. So you got to conjugate that déranger, which is an ER verb. Okay, so moving on. Lequel, which one? Ne pas encore either means don't or not yet. Which one is it? Is it don't or not yet? Take a guess. Not yet. Très bien. Not yet. We should remember that don't is the ne pas that we learned back in French 1. One of the first negative expressions that we learned was ne pas, means don't. So ne pas encore means not yet. Not yet. Okay, next one we have lequel, which one? Ne and jamais. Does that mean never or always? Does that mean never or always? Excellent. That means never, never. So ne jamais means never. If I say je ne fais jamais le ménage, I never do the housework. Okay. Next one is ne and plus. Does that mean never or no longer? Ne plus, does that mean never or no longer? If I say je ne fais plus le ménage, does that mean I never do the housework or I no longer do the housework? No longer. Très bien. Ne plus means no longer. Okay, ne and rien together. When we say je ne sais rien, does that mean I know nothing or I know never? Ne and rien, does that mean nothing or never? Nothing. Très bien. I kind of gave that away in my example. Okay, ne and personne. Ne and personne, does that mean no longer or nobody or no one? So no longer or nobody / no one. Nobody / no one. Très bien. So if you say je ne sais personne, it means I know nobody or I know no one. Très bien. Okay, so that is all that I want to talk about so far in our first video. In our second video, we're going to talk about phrases such as, can you help me? Have you done this? Did you think about that? Are you sure that you did this? Etc., etc. OK, mais c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas de m'envoyer un email. If you have a question, don't forget you can always send me an email. Mais c'est tout pour aujourd'hui et à plus.